Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. I want to share with you my finished bird journal. I have been working on this one for quite a while. Been taking my sweet time in completing this journal. I did finally complete it today, and I'm super excited that I am done with the journal for no other reason than I have to kind of kick my butt into party mode and start getting some crafts done for my daughter's 13th birthday. Yeah, 13, big number, super important birthday. It's like a big milestone, 13 teens, and she has a very specific theme in mind, and we've kind of come up with a list of crafts that we need to get done in order to have all these different elements come together on her birthday. I'm super excited about it. It's kind of an enchanted forest type theme, so I have quite a few projects planned for that, including some abbreviated, super simplified journals, not junk journals, because I'm not using junk to make them. I'm using some of the better items in my stash to make them, so they will be these beautiful journals. I hope to film that process as well as some of the other DIYs I'm going to be doing for her birthday. So the next few videos that I post will be a rather eclectic collection of videos, because I am doing everything from the tablescape to the invitations to journals and a bunch of other little projects. So my goal is to film a lot of it, hopefully, and I will post it here. So if that's something you think you might be interested in, definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm also going to be recording and posting some destash videos for the obscene amount of wallpaper that I now have in my collection. So I'm definitely going to be asking for your patience with that. I am going to be destashing a lot of wallpaper at some pretty amazing prices. I've been doing that before, so if you want to kind of get a vibe or an idea of what those types of destashes look like, definitely take a look at my prior destash videos for the wallpapers. But anyway, what I want to share with you is my first bird journal. Yes, my first, because even after making this journal, and she's thick, look at that, she a chunky monkey. Even after making this journal and stuffing her with all types of bird goodies, bird themed goodies, I still have, let me show you. This is my my baggie, my large baggie of bird themed goodies that I still have. So there's definitely enough here for me to make at least one more journal. So I will be making at least one more bird themed journal at some point. Don't know when, but that's the plan. So let me share with you this one that I did do. I shared a little bit of her in a prior video, but I did change out the cover. I thought I was happy with the cover. Turns out I really wasn't. There was something about it that was just bugging me, so I did change it, and now I'm super happy with the cover. So this particular journal, like I said, she's pretty thick, and in terms of measurements, she is about 5 I would say 5.5, a smidge under 5.5 by 7. Boy, I can't read a ruler upside down. 7.5. Looks like a smidge over, right? Smidge under, smidge over. Love my technical measurements, don't ya? She has a fabric wrap. This is some beautiful fabric, same fabric I used inside of the journal. What I did was I took 2 strips and I stitched them together so that it will wrap around the journal at least twice. So that is the wrap. here is the cover. As you can see, I changed the cover. No longer have that lace at the top. Now I have just this one image, which I'm happier. I'm much happier with. I added this one sentiment to the front. If you change nothing, nothing will change. And that is a sticker that I adhered to some paper and then took the paper, ripped it, and attached it, stuck it onto the front of the journal, just to have something here, because there was a little space here, a void that I felt needed to be filled in order for the cover to look a bit more balanced. So I'm super happy with the way that turned out. Here is the spine. This is some wallpaper. You will see the same wallpaper inside of the book, and the spine is almost, it's about 2 inches, and still she's a little bit of a gator mouth. And it has a Tim Holtz ring fastener right here. I have a simple, very simple little dangly. I didn't want to make this too thick, too chunky, too busy, because I just felt the cover itself was somewhat busy. I wanted to keep this super simple, so I used, this is from the assemblage, Tim Holtz assemblage line, and it was this long, beautiful chain which had this beautiful kind of blue and brownish tones to it. Absolutely love it. I folded the chain over. It was one long strand. I just folded it so that I had 4, now I had 4 shorter strands. And I absolutely love the way it turned out. The metals are different. That doesn't bother me. Mixed metal doesn't bother me. But I just pointed out because I know some people, it's a thing. It's not a thing for me. Let me correct myself. Sometimes it's a thing for me. It really is. But in this case, it really wasn't. Because it's a book full of eclectic, unique, beautiful little birds. So it doesn't bother me that the metals are mixed. So here the ring fastener is kind of like a brassy type color. And the dangly charm I have here is silver tone. And then at the bottom, just to anchor this down, and just, I love, when I make my charms, I love adding a big piece to the bottom. It just makes sense to me that way, kind of to weigh it down. I had this beautiful kind of like bird on a swing metal piece right here. So kept that super simple. Here is the back. The back is a collage of some different papers as well as some stickers. I didn't change that at all from the first video where I shared this book. And as you can see, it's not a like major gator mouth, but she is a bit of a gator mouth. And that is because she is filled to the brim with all sorts of fun stuff. Then it is a hidden spine. First time I've done a spine like this, so I was super nervous about it, but it turned out really, really well. That's why you don't see the wax cording on the spine. It's the signatures were sewn onto a piece of chipboard, and then the chipboard glued into the book. And I used, in terms of glue, I used this pH neutral PVA glue. This is professional quality glue, archival adhesive. Absolutely worked beautifully. Was super happy with that. That's been in my stash for a long, long time. I've used it in the past for other book projects, but first time I've used it for a hidden spine type project, and it worked beautifully. So this is the outside. Let's get into the inside. It is 3 signatures. Here is the inside of the book. You can see some of that fabric in here. The signatures, the covers of each of the signatures is wallpaper. I used a digi kit. I forget the name of it. It might be called Beautiful Birds. I'm not certain, but I will definitely remember to link it down below. I took some of the elements of that digi kit and sewed it onto the front of each of the signatures. So here's the first signature. I did some distressing with some archival inks in the colors Vintage Photo and Ground Espresso. This is part of the DigiKit. I use 2 DigiKits. And again, I will link them both down below because I honestly don't remember their names right now. These are some little bird cards that were either gifted to me by Rosa, who is Sun and Moon Arts, or I purchased from Diane, who has an Etsy shop, PrettyPinkCottage. I will link both of them down below so you can go check them out. And it was a bird card, and the back of the card had some information about the birds, but I lined the back of the cards with some just plain paper so that it's a little journaling spot. Same with this little book right here. It's just, there's no paper in it, but it's a great little journaling spot. Love that. Here's doily. Each of the signatures is very similar. Very, very similar in layout. Here's some coffee dyed paper. This right here, I love, love, love these. I use some slide mounts. I have quite a few slide mounts that I purchased from Diane. And what I do is I alter them. I colored them with my acrylic sprays, then I stamped on them, and then I inked the edges with some either Ground Espresso Vintage Photo archival ink, and then I used some mini images to I used the slide mount to frame these miniature images of these birds and create kind of like a tab. You'll see 3 of them in the book because we have 3 signatures. So the tabs are not protruding a lot. That's deliberate because I didn't want them to protrude beyond the book itself. But they do peek out just a tiny bit so that you can definitely tell where each of the signatures is. I tried to put the tabs towards the beginning of each of the signatures. I did not put them on the covers themselves because I didn't want the images on the slide mounts to compete with the beautiful images on each of the signatures. So that is my thought process there. I made quite a few of these, so you will see them throughout the book. I absolutely love, love, love the process of making them, and I just love the way they turned out. They are absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. If you hear stomping above me, that's because my child is upstairs playing Wii Sports, and it sounds like she's doing some kind of dancing or something or another. I don't know. This page right here is part of the kit, one of the kits. And then this stamp is an image from a Bo Bunny set that I've had in my stash for a little bit. I was actually surprised that I didn't have a lot of bird-themed stamps. And I think that's because I destashed 95% of them. And so what I had is basically 2 sets, maybe. So that's what I had to work with. That's what I worked with. These are Bo Bunny. This is the Harmony 1 set, and I purchased this at Tuesday Morning way back when. So that's pretty much the only bird that I use. I also had this Harmony 2 stamp set, but none of these birds really worked for me, so I didn't use it. But I did stamp it on this page using some of that archival ink in the color Vintage Photo. These pages are bird-themed pages that I purchased from Diane H. She had a bundle at some point that was all bird-themed book pages. I've had it in my stash. Still have quite a bit of it. So you will see that throughout the book. This fabric flip, let me tell you, also purchased from Diane, and I purchased a lot from her, and at some point I purchased some fabric flips from her. So what I did was, to make them just a little bit my own, I took a fabric flip and I just added one of the vintage slide mounts onto it. I stapled it on, and I love the way it turned out. Absolutely love the way that turned out. And the best part about it is I didn't have to make the fabric flip myself. Part of the digital kit that I purchased, or it might have been an add-on, was kind of like an ephemera pack, which included a bunch of pockets and tags, and smaller tags as well. So you'll see those sprinkled throughout the book as well. Here's a little pocket tag. Actually need to add some fabric to that. I'll come back and add some fabric to that later. But what I have been doing, might as well do it now, right? Because I might forget later. I am going to this is pretty much my simple way of adding some little pull tabs to these fabrics. And just like that, done and done. Absolutely love that. I use the Tim Holtz tiny attacher to add some fabric to that, just some texture, some interest. This is some ledger paper that I coffee dyed. This is a paper clip, believe it or not. And this particular style of paper clip is double-sided. On the one side I have these beautiful bird cards, and on the other I just layered up some wallpaper, same wallpaper that I used throughout the book, and I added a teeny tiny little bird postage stamp. And these are again stamps that I purchased from Diane H. And so in terms of making this particular style of paperclip, there is a paperclip in there. It's hidden, you just can't see it. I got that idea from Barbara, who is 49 Dragonflies. I will link her video down below where she showed how she made these absolutely beautiful. I think the best method I've seen so far here on YouTube in terms of how to make hidden paperclip type ephemera. Love it, super easy to follow, so I will link her down below. This is some wallpaper, bird themed of course. I had some of these cute little bird themed paper clips. You'll see them throughout the book as well. On the back side I have this. It was a one of these Project Life cards. You've seen me use these before. Best purchase ever. Love these. 100 journaling cards, and I'm probably about halfway through them. What I did was I lined one side. I collaged on it with papers and stickers. Added a little sentiment, did some zigzag stitching, and distressed the edges with some more archival ink. This looks like vintage photo. So on the one side you have this beautiful collaged image with a bird, it's an owl, and the other side you have a journaling spot. The back of the wallpaper itself, I again glued on one of those cards so that there's a journaling spot. Plenty of space to journal here. This is some dyed paper I got from GodSpeedCreations, I think is the name of that shop. I will try to link it down below. Here is the center of signature number 1. I use some dark gray wax cording to attach the signature. I left it super long, and I attached bird themed charms at the end of each of the cords, each of the strings. And so you have this beautiful dangly effect at the bottom. I don't know if that makes the book too busy or not, but the good thing about this is if I change my mind about it, if I do, I can just snip it off and, you know, all is good. So I will leave it there for a while and see how I feel about it. Right now I'm loving it, but I might change my mind about it later. Here's the back end of the first signature. Here's that wallpaper again. Here's that wallpaper. I added a vellum envelope as a little bit of a flip out element. And inside that envelope are just some ephemera. Have a card here, sheet of paper from a bird type catalog. Gives you some information on some birds. Here's a little journaling spot. And so definitely lots of places to journal in here. I love the way these turned out. There we go. And I did collage onto the vellum envelope these images of birds. I had tons of images of birds that I fussy cut from different book pages and bird type magazines. I added that there. This was also part of the little ephemera, add-on ephemera. It's a little bird banner, and I attached it using you hear that stomping, it's crazy. I used a brad, a little flower themed brad, to attach it. And this is some dyed paper from GodSpeedCreations. Here I wanted to hide the back side of the brad. I didn't want to see that metal from the brad, the two little arms. So I just rough cut, ripped some, I think this was an extra goodie that Diane might have sent to me with one of the orders that I made from her. And it was an index type card. And I just ripped it so that I could just add a little section to the corner here. And of course I inked it. Here's some more wallpaper in here. I just have a guest check that I distressed or inked the edges, just tucked it in there. And those guest checks also from Diane. Here I have kind of like a file type divider. I have a small collection of them. Guess where I got them from? Diane. Yeah. And her shop. So I just grabbed 3 of them random. So here's the letter J. What I did was I cut it down to create a pocket. I just thought it would be fun, random. For me, it actually works out because J for genie, but it could be J for any bird you can think of that starts with the letter J, right? Here we have another tag, which I added more fabric to. This was also part of the add-on ephemera kit. Down here, this was fun to make. So I took some mini coin envelopes and I attached 2 of them together by the flap. I distressed them and then I layered a piece of that fabric, and on top of the fabric I added one of those little bird cards and I zigzagged it. Used a zigzag stitch to attach it. So it's like a fun little flip element. I glued it onto the pocket here. And then inside is some information about another one of those cards, those sheets of paper. I don't know what, oh my gosh, they're not cards. It's kind of like a little bird watching type book. It's a page from a bird book for sure. So that's fun. Sticker. This is a sticker. Okay, here's a bingo card that I purchased from Diane, and I I collaged, I took some tissue paper, a napkin, bird themed napkin, and just Mod Podged it onto the bingo card. I used this collage podge, which is awesome. Happy to have this in my stash. Works beautifully, absolutely perfect. So added this as a flip element, and on the back I added one of these seed packets that I purchased from the Dollar Zone in Target way back when. I just punched a little notch in it using my circle punch so that I can slip in one of these bird cards. And these bird cards are pretty awesome because if you look carefully on the back, it's like a clear plastic disc, and there is a specific device. I have it, believe it or not, I have it. I will link the video where I share it with you in this general area here somewhere. But when you put these cards into that player, it gives you information about the particular bird that's depicted on the front. It's pretty awesome. I actually have 2 of them. I will again link that video so you can see for yourself. Here I have some washi type stickers that I used to just embellish that seed packet a little bit. Love the way that turned out. Here I have a little doily, coffee stained, and this is the back pocket of the first signature. I added this, it's a time card, and what I did was I collage podged a napkin onto it, used a zigzag stitch, and then added this little sentiment onto it. So it's a fun little spot to journal. Here's another little tag, not so little, actually pretty big. And here's another one of my vintage slide mounts that I altered. I absolutely love the way these turned out. Isn't it beautiful? So much fun to play with. So, and in the back of the signature there is a pocket, and in that little pocket is just a page from a book, bird book. And this one has the illustrations and names of different types of birds. So each of the signatures is pretty similar in layout, so I will move a little faster. But I had that same wallpaper in 3 different colors, so that's what I used. The slide mount that I used to create the tabs, I just kind of staggered them. The first signature had the tab up high. Second signature has the tab in the center. Third signature has it in the bottom. So that's pretty much where we are. This again is another fabric flip by Diane that I added my little vintage slide mount to. Wow, here's another area that I have to add. Let me do it now, right? Might as well. Didn't realize. If I don't do it now, I'm going to forget. So, might as well do it now. Perfect. So not only did you hear my daughter stomping upstairs, you're probably going to hear my mother talking rather loudly in the room next door to me. That's just the way it is when you live in a house full of people. Here's another one of those paper clips. Same idea here. Another flip. More paper. This is more of that ledger paper. Here I use some bird themed tickets to create a belly band or a little spot here where I tucked in one of those guest checks. This was just a beautiful illustration of a bird. I absolutely loved it, so I attached it here. And I took the bottom number strip of the guest check, and I just added it here because I just thought it looked really cool there. As you can see, the numbers are a match. So here's another one of these pockets with another one of those cards. So as I said, each of the signatures is very similar, slight differences, but I would say all in all very similar. This time for the bingo card, instead of adding a flip element, I created a pocket, cut a little tab, punched a little tab, and inside there added this mini book that I created. I just took different scraps of paper from my scrap pile and created a mini little journaling spot here, or collage spot, or little mini book type deal. You can tuck it right in there. Here's that stamp again. Here's the back of the second signature. Again, has a little pocket back with a page. I love that. I am really thrilled, very happy with the way this book turned out. It is a labor of love for sure. Here's the third and final signature. Papers are the same. Here's that slide mount tab at the bottom. I love these fabric flips. I'm going to have to keep an eye out. Hopefully Diane will make some more soon, and hopefully I'll be lucky enough to get them. So yeah, I have been wanting to make this book for a long time, and I finally decided to just sit down and get her done. And I took my time. I really did. Being back to work now, I don't get much time in my craft room, so whatever precious time I did manage to get in my craft room, I dedicated it to finishing up this book. And I didn't film a lot of it, and I apologize for that, my friends, but you know, sometimes when you have little precious time to do something, you just want to sit down and start working on it right away. Not worry too much about a camera setup and filming the process. So, and a lot of the times it was very noisy in the house, so I wouldn't have been able to film without background noise, which is very difficult to edit out. So that's why I didn't share a lot of the process. But I did get her done. I'm very happy and proud of the way that it turned out. Very proud. Very proud. And like I said, the kicker is I still have enough to do another book. So the question is, do I keep this one or do I sell this one and just make another one for me? I don't know. Would you be interested in purchasing this book? I don't know. She is a beauty though. So that is the end of the book. And again, bird themed. Absolutely love the way that she turned out. I don't know when I will get around to making the next bird themed book. It's definitely not going to be anytime soon. Simply because I have so many others that I want to make. Halloween is just around the corner. It feels kind of weird being in July and saying that, but if you know me and you know how slow I am with doing these things, for me it really is just around the corner. So when I start another project after the birthday themed blitz, when I start another journaling project for my own entertainment, I think it's probably going to be Halloween themed. Now, in terms of Halloween themed, I have been wanting to make the Nightmare Before Christmas themed journal. I've been collecting different things for that, but I'm undecided if I want to do a theme that specific or if I just want to do a general Halloween theme, for which I have tons, and I mean tons of things that I can use. So I don't know. I guess we will find out together. I will wait for the inspo to hit me, and then we'll go from there. So that is my bird journal, my friends. I hope that you think she is as beautiful as I think she is, and truly a labor of love. I had a lot of fun making her, and I'm glad that I finally was able to get it out of my mind and into reality. It's one of those projects that's just been banging around in my head, so it's nice to be able to check this one off. Thank you, my friends, for watching. I truly do appreciate it, and I truly do appreciate you. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Be sure to activate that notification bell so that you are notified anytime I post a new video. And again, thank you for watching. I will catch you all in the next video, my friends. Until next time, bye-bye.